give you an up close and personal tour of my shady border because I did a little cleanup for Memorial Day and I'm happy with it. This is my hydrangea. It has lots of hydrangeas on it, but they are, the first crop are secreted away, and since new ones are coming, I'm not going to worry about it, but I got to prune it differently next year, maybe take it back a little bit more so that my blooms are more focal for the holiday weekend. And I'm very happy about my cutting flower garden. This is the flower that I cut. I love my gladiolas in the house, and they don't take up much space in the garden, so they're there, and they do get cut regularly and popped into my vases. I just added this new one, and I think it's a breath of fresh air. It's a foxglove, and they said it liked full sun to partial sun, so I put it in the middle. So if it leans one way, it goes for the full sun. If it leans the other way, it goes for the partial sun. It has chose the partial sun. It is leaning into the shade, and it's overcast and it's leaning into the shade. So I was like, okay, that makes a big statement. It's right next to my Russian sage, which I cut back, and now the Russian sage took a while to come back, but it's back now. And then here's my fragrant Confederate jasmine. Boy, is it fragrant. And it is festooned with its annual flower show. Just gorgeous. I will not trim it until that flower show is over. My begonias are looking great. I have my double begonias and my single begonias, and they are just now coming back. They are a perennial in my area, and they come back pretty much in the month of May. Over here, this little setup always looks nice in the shade garden. These are irises. They do not bloom in the shade, but because they do not bloom, they do not get that hole in the middle, and they look, that blue-green blade looks great all the time. I have it paired with a purple hedge that isn't flower, but the flowers are just, they pale in comparisons to the bloom, but they're there, those little white flowers. I just put the mulch down, and my Stewart, oh my goodness, my Stewart dahlia is starting to show some variation in color. It's supposed to be chunks of variation in color, but mine's usually mostly green, but it has a little bit more variation in the second year, and it and the bearded iris are doing great together. Over here are my camellia, and then there's one other bush that's there. I have cut it all back except for this one little tuft, and that's because on that tuft is the one sweet pea that survived the grasshopper. So it's about to flower in June, I think. I think it's gonna flower. Maybe it's not, I don't know. Okay, but June's overcast and cool in my area, so it's got a month to give me some blooms. This is a fern, and behind it is another fern. It's a woodland fern. Hopefully we have enough water this year for that woodland fern to grow out. This is a male fern. This one's doing great. I actually have to keep that one trimmed up for the space now, but it looks great. Then we have busy Lizzie's along with a butterfly weed. These self-sow all throughout my garden, but the butterflies do eat them down to the ground, so it's not a biggie. And then I get a butterfly show. A begonia that has never flowered in this spot, but this year it has a flower bud on it. So I'm shocked I didn't know it could flower over here. And there's another male fern underneath. And over here, I have my patch of sweet woodruff. That whole area is covered with sweet woodruff, but since sweet woodruff has rhinestones, I just put the mulch on top of it. I have some plants. This planter fell over, and you can see it's not big enough for the plant anymore. I need to repot that into a bigger planter. And but this plant, it still felt it could flower. It's got this beautiful purple calyx, and inside of the calyx, it's popping open and showing a little cute yellow mark. I love flowers. And I have my palm tree growing along with this is a Kentia palm, and I think these are pretty popular plants, house plants actually, but in my area it is a good candidate for a container. See, you put it in with a tall plant and it climbs the tall plant, so it works out well. Oh, this Kentia palm is putting on a new frond. It's always exciting when they're happy enough to put on a new frond. I just put some plant tone in the pot to fertilize them, and now we'll switch over and go the other way. Now here I have more sun. This is the same iris, bearded iris, that I have growing in the shade, and this is why I wanted to do this for you guys today. It does flower. If I move it to a sunnier spot, it will flower. And this is a miniature bearded iris, so it only gets 1.5 foot tall, but it puts on, even one flower on this puts on a wonderful show in the garden. Very romantic color scheme. And my agapanthus is there, acting as a ground cover, along with my daylilies, which have never bloomed, and I've had them for 15 years. But it's okay. This bloomed all spring, but spring's over and it's given up. My Johnny Jump Ups, they bloom all year in this partial shade corner. And my lilies are over here in the partial shade. These are just regular old Easter lilies that you can buy around Easter time. And they seem to like my climate, so I have the flowers there. And this is a little gift of the birds. It's a little shrub. It's slow growing. I like the form of it. It's never flowered, but I'm interested to find out what the flower looks like one day. And then my vines. Some begonias coming up over here too. Oh, I forgot. There's a begonia over here. I must have covered another begonia over here. Ah, yeah, there it is. See it? Oh, there it is. So, got another begonia over there. I covered it up when I put out the mulch. And the Confederate jasmine's just looking lovely. Walking you the other way. So I think the walkway looks nice both ways. God bless you.